Children, we will go through chapter 4, urbanization, in this session. Now, first of all, let us try to define urbanization. Urbanization, it simply means the shift of the population from the rural, that is the village area, to the urban city center areas. Okay, so this is what urbanization it is there. Now, when the urbanization it takes place, then there is the gradual increase in the proportion of people living in the urban areas, and how the people, they change themselves, they adapt themselves to the surroundings in the society. Okay, because the migrant population that has increased. Now, urbanization, it has its root in the industrial revolution, when the workers, they moved towards the manufacturing areas in the cities to obtain the jobs. So a country, it is considered to be the urban one if 50% of its population, it lives in towns and the cities. Growth of the urbanization, it occurred very rapidly at a very fast pace after the independence, as we adopted the mixed economy. The mixed economy, it means an economic system which has the private people also and the state enterprises, that is the government participation, that is also there. Urbanization data on a worldwide scale. Now, there are many countries in the world that have 100% urban population, such as Hong Kong, Bermuda, then Monaco, Cayman Island. But there are also the countries which have less than 15% population of their total population living in the urban areas, like Cambodia, Rwanda. So there's a table that is given there in the book. Please go through that table. Let us now go through the causes of urbanization and try to understand why people, they move from one area where they are living to the other area. What are the factors that influence them? Now, simply stating, many people, they move for their improved living standard. The other one might move because of the better job opportunity. So it is an individual decision to move into the urban areas. Now, when the people, they start to move from the rural area to the urban area, that is where the country, it starts to develop, because people from the villages, they have started to move to settle down into the cities for a better standard of living. That is known as migration. So in the previous chapter, we have already gone through push and pull factors regarding the migration. The same one is applicable over here in this chapter 2. It is, however, important to note that urbanization in the developing world, it occurs because of the two main reasons. One, that is the natural increase in the population, because everyone would like to move if the facilities, they are better in any of the place, whether it is the medical facility, whether it is the educational facility. So the natural increase of the population, it occurs when the number of the birth rate, it exceeds the number of the death rate, and that is one of the cause. The another one, that is rural to urban migration. So in the developing countries, urbanization, it occurs when people from the village center, they move to live in the cities, and that is for a reason, for a better standard of living. So this is termed as the migration. Now, migration, it is also influenced by certain number of the economic growth and the development. Let us go through those factors. Industrialization is one of the most important causes of the urbanization, because people, they would move from the village center into the town and cities for a better job prospect. Then social factors and modernization is the another one, for a better technology, better infrastructure, communication facilities, medical facilities and all. Employment opportunities, they are more when one moves into the city center. Then there is the gender and the age also. Now, employment opportunities, it vary greatly with the different job for men and women. Age is the another factor, because young people, they are more likely to move into the town areas rather than the elderly one. So the elderly people and children, they are left back in the rural centers. Let us now go through the positive and negative impacts of the urbanization. Like everything, even urbanization, it has its positive aspects as well as the negative aspects. Now, the positive impact of the urbanization, like the efficiency, it increases, because cities and towns, they are more efficient than the rural areas. So less effort that is required for the supply of the basic amenities. Convenience is more, whether it is access to the education, healthcare or the social services. concentration of the resources, they are more, because majority of the people, they would like to settle in area which is near the natural resource. That is from the ancient time, because it is readily and easily available. Social integration, when people from all walks in life, they come together, they live together, they work together in the city centers, then a better society that is created. It has the better understanding and harmony also. Then economic development, high-tech industries, they earn the valuable foreign exchange and capital for the country. Now let us go through the negative impact of urbanization. Negative impact, it includes the unemployment, the rate of the unemployment, that is more, because too many of the people, they are moving from the village areas to the town and the cities. Jobs are less. No doubt that jobs, they are available, but then they become less because population rushes more. Growth of the slum, it takes place because many people, they move to the cities in a better search of life, for a better job opportunities, which leads to the growth of the slums. Land insecurity is there because slums, they are built on the land which is not owned by the slum dwellers. Poor and unhygienic living conditions are there. Living sanitation facilities, they are less. Crime rate, it increases because the general rise of unemployment and poverty, that is there. Environmental impact is there. Increase in the temperature, it will take place. Level of pollution, it will increase, whether the pollution that is there in the air, in the soil, or in the water, which may lead to the damage of the surrounding environment, including the flora and the fauna. Let us now go through the concept of satellite cities. Now, satellite cities, when people, they move over the urban area into the towns and the cities, then the need arises to make them settle around. Housing space is required. Alright, now Delhi, for example, it has the highest percentage of the migrant population, and it has led to the growth of the expansion of the capital, and it includes the cities of Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Gurugram and Noida. And same is the condition with the other metropolitan cities, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. This is known as the satellite city, where the concept in the urban planning that refers to the smaller metropolitan areas which are located somewhat near to but are mostly independent of the larger metropolitan areas. So it is a concept in the urban planning whereby the small metropolitan area, they are near but they are the independent of the larger metropolitan areas. So in such cases, the urban sprawl, they begin to develop. That is the spread of the city into the surrounding areas. That is without planning. Now, major satellite cities in India, there is a table given. Please go through it. Advantages of the satellite cities. Now, advantages of the satellite cities, that it provides a resident with the superior quality of the living. Road connectivity is there, electricity is there, water drainage system, that is there. And it also enables to lead to the growth of the local economy as well. Then the resident in the main city who wish to move away from the stress and the pollution and the daily hassles of the city life, it gives them a certain alternative. Transportation system, it develops. Scientific balance between the population and the resources, that balance that is generated. From the land use, these satellite cities, they are the best way to accommodate the growing population. Okay, so these are the certain and the few advantages of the satellite cities. The concept of the smart cities, it says that it would use the digital technology or information and communication technology to enhance, to increase the quality and performance of the urban surfaces, to make the lives of the citizens better and easy. So this is what the smart city it is. It is an urban area which is highly advanced in terms of overall infrastructure, real estate, communications and market viability. Now, where did it all begin? It began in 2008 when IBM began work on the smart cities concept. The smart city mission of the Indian government smart cities mission of the government of India. That is a very new and a very bold concept. Okay, now it is meant to set the example that can be replicated both within and outside the smart city. What does it include? It includes the adequate water supply, then the regular supply of the electricity, sanitization that is good, solid waste management plants they are there, efficient urban mobility and the public transport system it is there, affordable housing especially for the poor, then the IT connectivity, digitalization that is there, good governance, sustainable environment, and health and education that is also the important part of it. Smart cities also include special investment regions, or otherwise also known as the SEZ areas, special economic zones, with modified regulation and tax structures to make it attractive for the foreign investment. Now, in the last of the topic, we have the challenges in the developing smart cities. The challenge that is always there, especially in our country, which is a developing economy, because the success of the city, it depends upon the resident, on the entrepreneurs and the visitors, which are actively involved in the energy saving and implementation of the new technologies. So we need to make people aware for the sustainable ways by which they can become actively involved in energy saving and implementation of the new technologies. So we finished the chapter over here. Solve the set of questions.